you see, Parth?
Just right here. I'm going to pull it up. So I saw, it says, this is on Fox News, and this is not like...
Fox News.
Yeah,
Fox
and
and Friends.
It's not necessarily, there's no solid backing to this, but this is what Trump says in one of his, in an announcement that he made, right?
Okay.
Now, there's no details on it, but okay. He says, ICE to remove millions of illegal aliens in U.S. Trump said that, and he's scant on the details.
Okay.
So President Trump late Monday announced on Twitter that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is ICE, will begin the process of removing the millions of illegal aliens who have illicitly found their way into the U.S., but did not elaborate on what new measures will be taken.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means, but I guess the process now is to remove them, not to like grant them citizenship or to like stop the bleeding, you know?
Right.
Which is something that's probably the route I would have taken if I was in that position. Would have been like, look, there was this Yale study that came out.
If you were president, you would make that decision?
Yes, if I was president, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have to know the details, obviously, more to make the platform, but if I was, this is what I would do, right? Yale study found that there's actually approximately twice as many illegal immigrants here than we previously thought. Previously, we thought there were 11 million. Now they're saying it's around 22, 23 million.
When was this study? Like a couple years ago?
No, I have no idea how recent it was, but it was apparently very recent if you want to look it up.
Amount of immigrants.
Yeah, I think it was Yale. I don't know if it was Yale, but it's Stanford or Yale.
Should I just type in Yale?
Yeah, it should have that.
Welcome back, by the way.
Yes.
We have a different location, different time, June 18th.
Yes.
And we are here at my parents' home, just chilling. Here's the study you were talking about, insights.com.
Yes.
First search right here, a little slow. So Yale study finds twice as many undocumented immigrants as previous estimates.
Yep.
All right. Generally accepted estimates about the population of undocumented immigrants in the U.S. at approximately 11.3 million people who are undocumented. A new study using mathematical modeling on a range of demographic and immigration operations data suggests that the population may be more than 22 million, so more than double.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty intense.
Yeah. And I mean, now, who knows whether, I don't know what kind of study this was.
Okay.
You know, obviously there's different types of studies, but if it is, I mean, it is Yale. So that's like a it's a reputable name, right? So I would say it is a trustworthy study, as long as the mathematical model has no problems. And I have no idea, I'm not too certain how the exact process is in terms of coming here illegally.
Okay.
I know the one way is they overstay their visa and they just don't go back. You know,
it's very loose, right? It's very like casual in terms of like how strict the rules are and like them staying, them leaving. Yeah, because I've met a lot of immigrants, a lot of undocumented people. Yeah. They have green cards, most of them, and they hardly get checkups. They don't get any visitations. There's hardly any like, anyone watching their back.
Yeah.
So they can come and go to Mexico as they please.
Okay.
But yeah. There's not really any like strict enforcement.
Okay.
Like, oh, you need to get out of here or something like that. Or because I really don't know how the operations works, to be honest. Like, what are the lists of do's and don'ts if you have like a green card?
Yeah.
I believe they get most of the rights of the citizens in terms of like financial compensation, things like that. Because most of the university students that I go with, they get financial aid and they get all the benefits here and there.
Right.
That's because of the DREAM Act and then other, I guess, movements in respect to universities. But yeah, I can't really say nowadays because I don't really talk to them. What about you? Do you have like a lot of immigrant friends?
Yeah, actually, funny enough, I do.
Okay.
I have a history of being friends with. Well, I mean, I went to Mount Sac, right? So like my community college.
True. There were quite a few there.
Yeah, and so one of my closest friends, you know him, Rogelio. Yeah, or I shouldn't say. I shouldn't be saying names, but
Hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, hope you're doing fine if you're watching this. Was I think undocumented.
Okay.
I don't know if it was he came here illegally or not. I don't remember exactly what he said.
From what I recall, he said he came here when he was like 5 years old.
Yes.
Maybe around that
yes,
age?
I remember that too.
4?
I remember that too. Yes. But I don't know the whole. He said undocumented. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yes, and then. I mean, my ex-girlfriend was here illegally, so.
Speaking of undocumented people, our favorite politician, AOC, made a recent tweet here. She was really concerned about the camps.
Can we read this out loud?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so it says, and for the shrieking, I like that word, shrieking Republicans who don't know the difference, concentration camps are not the same as death camps. Concentration camps are considered by experts as, quote, the mass detention of civilians without trial. And that's exactly what this administration is doing. Right. Okay. I see. If that is the definition, yes.
I think most Democrats are.
Yes.
Because the situation now on the southern border is when you have a bunch of migration individuals, they shove them into these camps. And, you know, take your perspective on that. But a lot of people don't like that view or that kind of act.
Yeah.
But what else is there to do? Because you can't just let them into the country. They have to be processed and they have to go through the system.
Right.
So the only way to maintain all of that traffic is to just contain them in these locations.
Yes.
So it's a very difficult situation down there.
Yes.
And AOC is obviously unhappy about.
She has to be the voice of the pseudo-moralistic people, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But now here's the question, right? What is the living condition of the concentration camps? Because I think that says a lot more than does the fact that they're being detained, you know. Because if they're being detained in some small, little place, then
if it's like a prison, then people have the right to, like, you know, speak up and people have the right to speak up anyway, but they have a right to, like, you know, be outraged, things like that.
Right.
What was I going to say? In those camps, it is kind of a unhappy lifestyle because there's so many people, right? And there's so many resources that are available, and like CNN, other left media, they show you these videos and these pictures of, like, children being in cages and
they're not in cages,
they're being separated from their parents, and there's so many bad things going on down there. It's like a federal prison.
I think the devil is in the details. You know, how do we really know? Are there actual pictures of, like, kids in real cages, like bars, like they're in prison bars or something?
Yeah.
Because that would be bad. I agree. And if they're being, like, fed very little food, if they have really bad... here's what I heard. Their detention camps actually have, like, television. It's like a free roaming space. It's like they're providing all this nice stuff in the meantime, you know? Yeah. Which they don't have back in their country, by the way. So let's look at the details a little bit.
So it's an upgrade in lifestyle.
Yeah, seriously.
I wouldn't know about that, but, you know, it's a very difficult situation again. Like, we're no border agents. We're not really familiar with the protocol in terms of, like, what goes down there.
Yes.
And all I know is that it's pretty crappy.
Yes.
Right? Like, everything's unorganized, I assume, because there's so many people and it's hard to maintain.
Yeah.
There was a story back when all this emerged. The big migration. Remember the whole caravan that was coming our way?
Yeah.
I think there was, like, a big conflict between that caravan and the Border Patrol. And then the media decided to cover that, and they called it, like, a disgrace to American values. And it was just another media fiasco. But, as usual.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't plan to make any trips to the border anytime soon, but...
Yeah, no, me either.
It's a very difficult situation, again.
Yeah. 100%.
People try to get in, they have to go through the process.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult.
I think it's
complicated.
Here's the thing, media tends to be at the bottom of this evidence hierarchy. You cannot look towards any media without a bias there, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing, who writes all those articles? They're still human beings, you know?
Yeah.
And some of them are really not smart human beings. They're not smart journalists. They're or they have an agenda, right? So I've seen so many, I've seen so much propaganda. You know, Time magazine released a cover of Trump looking down, and they photoshopped this, by the way. It wasn't like a real thing, you know? But what they're trying to show is they showed Trump looking down at a crying kid, a 5-year-old kid, okay? And by the way, this crying kid was not in, where is it? He's had many covers, I think.
I think...
If you type in immigration, you'll see it.
Immigration?
Yeah. There it is.
There we go. That came up.
Yes. And the kid apparently was photoshopped out because the kid actually was crying because the mother wasn't like, the mother was ignoring the kid. The kid wasn't crying because he was in like some cage or something like that because, and that's what the ICE agent was actually saying.
Okay.
Now, I mean, people will say like, how are they trustworthy? Yes.
Before and after? Okay.
Yes. Now, people say it's like...
Google images.
Yeah, I know, right? Now, people will say, like, how can you trust what the ICE agent says, right? They're biased also. They have to protect their jobs and whatever. Okay, fair enough.
There's a lot of bias going around.
There's a lot of bias going around, right? We have to get rid of all this to get a clear view. Here's the thing. We're not living in the 1940s where we were, like, trapping Japanese people in camps. You know, we're not living in a time period where it's like the Holocaust. They're acting like this is like the Holocaust or something. Like we're keeping illegal immigrants in these like
going back to the the tweet,
starving them and
concentration camps. Reference to back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Can I say something really quickly?
No, you can't. No,
all right, I'll just let. All right, I'm just gonna shut my mouth.
This is our podcast. You say what the hell you want.
There's one quick thing. So. I don't want to say really quickly because this is going to tangent off a little bit.
Go for it.
But it's a very interesting thing to talk about. So they say, I sent you this video on RK selection.
You did.
So RK selection is this biological concept of how a species will conduct itself in the environment. It's a survival strategy, okay? Mm-hmm. So RK, you can pretty much find that almost all species will fall into R or K for the most part, right? Now, humans, I think, from what I know, have been... Huh?
Go for there's a formula, sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's a very, like...
A very evolutional type of biological theory here.
Yes, yes. What they found is that humans are very case selective,
okay,
right?
Case selection, right?
That's how they've been throughout history. I'm sure if you like search on that page, human, you'll see that they say that we're case selected. Mm-hmm. Case selected, yeah. See, look right there.
Elephants, humans, and whales.
Yes. Uh-huh. Now there are certain characteristics of what defines a case selected species versus R selected.
Sure.
R selected is they reproduce like crazy, like this, and they have very low in-group loyalty. Mm-hmm. I saw this whole 3-hour analysis of this guy who was talking about this concept and relating it back to politics. Right? And there's a whole theory. Now, this is just theory based. This is just something interesting to think about. It's not like verified, but there's too many uncanny resemblances between R selection and K selection when it comes to politics.
Okay.
And it's not just the video that I sent you. There's another whole 3-part series on
deep
it.
Analysis.
Yes. Yeah. And this deep analysis, by the way, is not biased.
Oh, okay.
Because the video I sent you was very biased. It was conservative. The guy was conservative, and he was like, he's like, no, like these liberals out here, they're just these trashy, R-selected, stupid people, This other one was, he's not taking sides. He's like, look, here's let's go over part 1. Here's what R selection is. Here's what K selection is. Here are the biological traits of these two species, and we see uncanny resemblances between liberals being R selected, conservatives being more K selected, or K selected. K selection is where, when it comes to mating, right, they're very selective about who they mate with. They're more monogamous. They're more into the quality of the children versus just tons of children.
Okay.
So, like, if you take rabbits, bugs, mice, they just want to reproduce like crazy, or frogs. They just want to reproduce like crazy.
They're considered R selection. Yeah.
Yeah. Whichever one survive. If not, sorry, man, you're on your own. Because they're prey. Usually these animals are prey. When it comes to case selection, it's things like wolves, elephants, mammals like whales, humans.
Okay.
So, very interesting topic, I think, is that, if you look at the differences, you will find that they align usually on one end of the spectrum or another.
Okay. To be honest, I haven't done as much research as you have into this kind of theory.
Yeah.
But it seems like it stays within the realm of reproduction and evolution and how our species today really categorize themselves in terms of continuing as a species.
Right.
But comparing it to today's political spectrum, do you really think it, reveals a lot of details in respect to how each side operates, how the left operates, how the right operates?
So from what I've seen, so far, it's almost uncanny. It is, I would say so. But that's not to say that it's 100% true, right? There's a whole book that's been written on it. Actually, I just ordered the book and I just got it in the mail. It's like a 230-page book on, there it is. And there's actually, we should put this in the description of the video.
Okay.
There is a 35-page paper on this, and they talk about that.
Okay.
Look, there's one. That's the book, by the way, on the right.
This is the book.
That's the book. I just got that one.
The book is called The Evolutionary Psychology Behind Politics.
Yes.
How conservatism and liberalism evolved within humans.
Yes. It talks about like epigenetics and things about, that basically. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But basically the idea was that conservatives usually in the brain have bigger amygdalas. Mm-hmm. Bigger amygdalas means that you are more prone to the negativity bias. Okay. Meaning your threat assessment center is very high.
Yeah.
Meaning you see threats everywhere. Right? So that's part of the reason why they're like, immigration, no. Like, these people are a threat.
Very protective.
Yeah. Whereas liberals, they have a smaller amygdala and they don't necessarily register that is the same threat. They're just humans,
Yeah.
Conservatives are more like, hey, look, we need to make sure that, there's a limited amount of resources we have.
Yeah.
We need to take care of our people first before anything else, These people might come in, they might do this, they might do that. So they start to, they think in the worst, they think about the worst possible scenarios typically, Mm-hmm. They invest into monogamy. They're very case-selected species are extremely prone for competition.
Yeah.
They love competition. Because they realize that there are a limited amount of resources, and they think that it should be a free market where it's like capitalism, right? To the people who do the work, they're competitive, they get the resources, or the most amount at least, right? Versus liberals who are much more anti-competition. They're more like, hey, we need to, because it comes at a cost to the individual.
Okay.
You cannot just dispossess the people at the bottom of this hierarchy,
mm-hmm.
you know? It's just immoral. So that's what it is. I mean, not to say either side is good or bad, or that I'm not like taking sides here. That's just the analysis. If I had to take a side, I would take the more conservative end because that's just personally who I am. But
what would I do?
But I'm not trying to take sides here. I'm just analyzing. So
what side would you take? It's this seems like a very detailed analysis on the whole, I don't know, evolution of the left and the right.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how someone really dived deep into this kind of analysis. Look at this. This sexual selectiveness, mate monopolization, and high investment rearing is all a form of competing to produce fitter offspring than peers.
Yeah.
This evolves because if one's offsprings are fitter than the others, than the offspring of the peers, they will be likely to acquire resources themselves and reproduce successfully. So it sounds like a social Darwinism type of thinking.
100%. And that's why the West puts so much emphasis on the individual, right? It's more like we're not thinking about the collective here as much as we are the individual. The individual has power because it's quality over quantity, you know?
Yeah, that's the idea within America. But, Jordan Peterson would argue that politics nowadays are pretty much destroying the idea of what it means to be an individual.
Oh yeah.
And I would agree, because it's kind of scary how all these identity politics are being so adopted nowadays.
100%.
And we have election debate coming up between the Democrats, and you're going to hear that identity argument over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Probably from Andrew Yang. He's probably going to be the only one not pushing that agenda.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, again, the political spectrum nowadays is so, what would you call it? Toxic?
I would say
not good.
I would say toxic, mainly because of lack of real information and education. There's too much bias there.
There's that too, and I wonder how information on the media is going to be distributed when the elections come up, because previous election, Facebook and every other media outlet, they really had a shifted way of conveying their news, so they're really biased. And maybe things will change in the upcoming election. People will actually do their research, and they really won't refer to Facebook all the time, which I don't know why you would.
Yeah.
And let's see how things go.
Absolutely.
But a lot of young people nowadays are going to be more active in today's, I guess, political environment and in the future elections.
Yes.
So it's good to know.
It's crazy because what I've heard is the idea is that when a country becomes too resource abundant, meaning things become easy.
Yeah, so you're not really worried about your safety anymore.
Yes.
Like where your next meal's going to come from. When things become too comfortable.
When things become too comfortable, that's when the species tends to move more towards R-selected.
Okay.
Because it's like, if we have an abundance of resources, we should spread it thin. Or not spread it thin, we should spread it out.
Okay.
The reason we've been K-selected the whole time is because we had lack of resources until like the last 200 years. Not even the last 200, probably the last like 50 or so years.
Decades, yeah.
But that's why we're shifting so hard. And what they've actually found was there was an opossum, I think it was, an opossum species where same exact species. We're not even talking same genus or anything like that. We're talking on the family. They're the same.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Homo sapiens. But these species ended up being on different islands.
Okay.
And they each evolved in a different way because they were in a different environment. One evolved K-selected, one evolved more R-selected. We don't know why, but they're the same species. So what this shows us is that even within the species, the environment, the culture, there's something called epigenetics. Epigenetics meaning within the current, it's not like evolution only moves from generation to generation.
Yeah.
Evolution is changing things in you, even within you at the current moment.
Okay.
Throughout your lifetime. Sure. Things are changing in your body. Your body has this, I guess, weird mechanism that understands the environment that it's in, and it adapts to that. And then it, I guess, encodes it into your DNA or whatever, and then it passes it on, right?
So it was the environment that really changed their way of selecting?
Yes. Okay. It's their survival strategy, right?
Sure.
So that's what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Same species. Kind of weird. So I think nowadays we have technology to think due to how comfortable our lives are, how things become so accessible and abundant. So, due to technology, markets everywhere across the whole the economy have thrived. So you have Amazon literally delivering to you things in one day, and you have all these companies just providing so much. So that could make sense how people are becoming more comfortable, and most of those people would lean toward the leftist ideology.
Yeah.
Spread everything, make everything more even, stop the competition, get rid of the capitalist market. People need to realize that the capitalist market is really what got us here in the first place. So if you flatten everything out, nothing becomes of value.
You get rid of the value systems.
Nothing really becomes worth it anymore. So I think what they see is they want to make things, I guess, pain-free. You know what I mean?
Pain-free, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like immigrants, they see a lot of pain down there. People were not in America. And it does suck out there in Mexico, in India, and China, and every other country. America really has a better lifestyle overall. They really want to, I guess, what do they really want to do? Save the world?
I think it is that, you know, here's the thing, right? We are the most advanced nation economically. We have the best lifestyle probably for the most amount of people.
Yeah.
This is why I think we're moving more towards the R-selected end first. We're like the first one to be able to live in an environment like that.
Okay.
Same species, right?
Yeah.
But we can shift more R-selected. That's why I think liberal politics has sort of taken over more.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, that's where I think people differ. Here's my problem, right? I honestly don't even mind if we move more R-selected. But I'm thinking more in the long run, in the long term, when there really is more of an abundance of resources.
Okay.
I think the debate really becomes, and it comes down to, is there an abundant amount of resources really, or is there not? That's the whole study of economics, right? Is how does a nation divide up scarce resources, right?
Yeah.
But so many people say that there is no scarcity of resources. Look at all these rich people with their, you know, things here and there. But in order to produce more abundance of resources, you need a free market. You know, that's how you grow economically faster, right? As you grow faster, your whole country gets lifted up out of poverty. This is what happened here, right? Once we get to a certain stage of, hey, look, we have so many resources, our economy is on fire, then we can afford to talk about, hey, let's spread some of these resources, you know, in a little bit more of a moral way, you know. That doesn't mean you, so basically it's like you have the hierarchy spreading out. Okay, it's gotten a little too far. Let's close it up a little bit. Let's spread it out. Okay. It's kind of like it goes up and down like this over time, you know. You should never get rid of it altogether, though.
I agree. And Andrew Yang really has this proposal that most people would say is a R-selected type of movement.
More so,
UBI.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this kind of system, it's never been tried before in the U.S., right? So it's really interesting to create like case studies and theories on what's going to happen.
Yeah.
My finding online is a lot of people are pretty rational about what they would do with the $1,000.
Oh, wow, really?
This is more on 4chan right now, so I'm really surprised that they're reasonable at this point. You know, other people on YouTube too, I've seen like comments, they're like pretty reasonable with what they would do with that kind of money.
Yeah.
And because when it comes to $1,000, it's not too much, it's not too little. It's just like the right amount to keep people out of like their financial demands.
Stress. Yeah.
So bills, taxes here and there.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. How do you think that it's one thing to say one thing, but look at the actions, right? I think the actions display more of what a person really is going to do, right? Do you think they're just saying that, and then when they get it, they're going to go like, but that beer, it looks so good.
Your experience through people, right, and how they are. There is obviously going to be people who are going to take advantage of it to their best of their ability. Yeah. And I mean, overall, let them spend it, I suppose.
Right,
they're just going to do that. I mean, they're good people who are going to do what they're going to do.
Free country.
I think most people, well, not most people, but people you know would just blow it off. Right, you know some guys who would just like, screw this, it's free money. Yeah,
or they might spend some of it on like alcohol or something like that, which is okay. Like, it's a free country, you can do what you want. But if you do that, understand that here's why I like UBI. He's not telling you, here's what the government is going to spend the money on for you. Where he's saying, we're going to give this money to you and you make a choice. Yeah. And you have to live with the consequences of that choice. Mm-hmm. So some people, if they make more responsible choices, or if they think long term, by the way, in this whole K-selected, R-selected thing, they found K-selected animals think longer term.
Right.
Right? So let's say I'm not trying to make any generalizations here. Yeah. But if the person makes more responsible decisions about their long-term future with that $1,000, they're going to, in fact, create even more differences and inequalities in the hierarchy. Right. It's not going to like stabilize it necessarily. Okay. Or it's not going to close it off. Yeah. It might temporarily because, everyone's getting $1,000.
That's true.
But then what? Prices are also going to go up too. That's something you have to consider.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable.
Yeah.
When prices go up. And I don't know, because I see a lot of good in this kind of system, to be honest. Even in my own family, because when it comes to unexpected expenses, like maybe you get in a car accident and your insurance goes up, things like that, this kind of system would really help you out. And most Americans nowadays, they can't really afford an unexpected expense of like $800. What they want? $500 max?
I heard 500. That's what I heard.
That's what he says in the book.
Oh, $800?
Yeah, okay. No, $500.
Oh.
So it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to read his book little by little, chapter by chapter.
Yeah.
Recently he was talking about how he grew up in a different kind of, I guess, American
household
style.
Okay.
Because he was born with hardworking parents, and he's really had a perspective on, he calls this kind of part of America the bubble. So people who are in higher education, people who are in Silicon Valley, those kind of people who really benefit from, I guess, what America has to offer. So high-tech people, you got a lot of entrepreneurs, you have a lot of investors. So he's really been in that kind of crowd throughout his couple of decades. And he does constantly push the point how there's a disconnection between that bubble and the working class American. So he really pushes this kind of agenda of UBI and how when it comes to the bubble, they're not really thinking about how they can improve American working class citizens in the long run. They're really worried about their own, I guess, success and their own improvement overall. Because this is evident when it comes to self-driving cars. So Tesla, people in Silicon Valley, they're really pushing this idea, or I guess this new technology, that's going to change logistics overall. And it's going to be huge. It's going to hit the market, and a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. It's not, they claim here and there, I've read a few articles, it's not their job to really care about the market. It's just their job to invent and do what they can with their resources and to push forward progress. That's an okay argument. It's like, okay, you're being progressive in that way.
Yeah.
Go for it. We have to advance somehow in technology. But the question really is, are people ready for that kind of change and that kind of progression moving forward?
Yeah.
As of right now, most people aren't in terms of the truckers. In other markets and demographics overall. So would you say that people are kind of falling behind? The baby boomers, they really fall behind in terms of technology.
Yes.
Because my dad and mom, they can barely run a computer. Technology moving so fast, especially with our phones.
Yeah. No, my parents can barely run a computer as well. Here's what I would have to say is that there are two types of, and I remember learning in the psychology, there's two different types of intelligence, right? There's, I think it was crystallized intelligence and fluid intelligence. Crystal or crystallized, I don't remember exactly, but you can look that up if you want.
Look that
up. So these two types of intelligence are, I guess one goes up as you age, one goes down as you age, okay? Yeah, there it is, crystallized. So fluid intelligence is basically how can you solve problems and how can you think on the spot?
Adaptable.
Yeah, adaptable. How does your brain function? Can it learn new things? Can it pick new things up very quick? Is it fluid, essentially, right? That's why it's fluid intelligence. Crystallized intelligence is, you know how like things crystallize and how crystals form and whatever? I don't know about how crystals form. I'm just saying that out of my ass.
He's no chemist, yeah.
But crystallized, you know when something crystallizes?
Very rigid, yeah.
It builds up. It builds up over time, right? Same thing here. When you're talking about crystallized intelligence, you are very knowledgeable because over time you gain wisdom, right? And old people are more wise because they've gone through life. Yeah. But
back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day, exactly. Or like, hey, there are certain things that don't change over time and I'm wise enough to know this.
Right. Yeah.
Crystallized intelligence. But so older people, they have higher crystal intelligence, but their fluid intelligence goes down as you age. So they're not able to adapt to new technologies that come about, That's what fluid intelligence really is about.
I think they can in the future. It's just that in this particular time of the technological revolution, it's been so fast, so quick. So they didn't really get a chance to really, I guess, adapt to it or be fluid to it. Because just like 10 years ago, we had like the iPhone 4.
Seriously, I know.
And now we're on the iPhone 10. So it's going like super quick.
Very quick.
I think like even in our age, like we'll be able to adapt to this kind of technology rapidly growing when we're old.
Yeah.
So I think it just affects this generation gap in general.
Really? You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
It's funny because what I've noticed is, and I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but when I was younger, I used to really be into technology a lot more. I was always like looking up Apple's latest products, and I was always like finding out what the differences were between the last generation and this generation and the growth that came from that. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. Technology is just speeding up really quickly.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm not so focused on technology as I used to be. So I'm not caught up on all the trends of like, nowadays they have like folding phones, and even I'm not caught up on that. And I'm just like,
I'm like, what's the point of that?
What is the point of it, all this? Like, do we need any of that? It's cool, but
phone? Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, you know what it is? I think the generation you're born into, and this is just, I could be wrong, but I'm just theorizing here.
Right.
The generation you're born into, you get used to a certain lifestyle over time. And you start to see newer technologies as almost unnecessary. You can use them because they're cool, but I don't know how much you're going to use them because you've already gotten used to life without it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if it's like, I don't know.
Well, I think an example would be like automobiles.
Sure.
So like, you know, most people nowadays, we still stick with the gas and natural gas type of automobiles. But, you know, you have those few selective people who are really going towards electric cars. And I think slowly over time, people are recognizing that electric cars are just as good as natural gas cars.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's helpful for the environment. It doesn't cause so much pollution.
Yeah.
But I guess an example of how people are comfortable in the way they are, like when they grew up, would be just classic automobiles.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's so much different to go with a like electric kind of lifestyle here and there. Plus it's expensive in here, things like that. But yeah, I guess that wouldn't be an example. But the point I was making was, I think it's just the baby boomers who are having this issue.
Yeah.
To be honest, millennials, I mean, they're pretty much
caught up. Yeah.
Caught up here and there for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, Gen Z, I guess us, we're definitely caught up in terms of technology. I mean,
I think you're a millennial. I think millennials end at like 1995.
95?
Yeah.
Am I? I think I'm like cut in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm going to type in Gen Z. Gen Z year.
I still feel like I grew up as a millennial, to be honest.
Oh, really? What makes you think so?
I feel like I was more into the stuff regarding what millennials were into, you know?
Oh, yeah?
Like all that generation. I don't know, I feel like I'm more identified with that.
Okay, so Gen Z is 1995 to 2015.
Right.
Millennials 1980 to 1994. And then Gen X, and then baby boomers.
Okay.
But yeah, 96 is for me.
Yeah.
So I'm right in the edge of Gen Z, apparently.
Oh, wait, so wow, that's a lot of generations. Okay, so we had millennials, we had baby boomers from 1944 to 1964.
That's the same, yeah.
Then Gen Z, or Gen X, my bad.
Gen X.
Born between 1965 and 1979. That's about a 14-year period.
About, yeah.
And then millennials were 1980 to 1994.
Yeah.
And then Gen Z is 1995 to 2015. So technically we're a part of Gen Z, which
that's what
weird.
I thought as well.
I had no idea.
You thought you were a millennial this time?
Yeah, this whole time. I guess not.
Yeah, millennials, I think of like my siblings. So who are kind of older. They're like in their 30s.
Yeah.
Like late 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm a part of like the latest.
Well, I think because you're a bit more mature in how you grew up. Maybe. So I guess Gen Z, people kind of stereotype them as like, you know, like the plugged in type of generation.
Oh, yeah. Like
so
the phones
all the time. And, you know, they're always like caught up on what's going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess comparing your kind of personality, millennial wise, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Same here too.
Yeah.
because we're not really completely plugged in like Gen Z people are.
Right.
And it's interesting how many generations have gone through and how exactly they are in terms of personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really thought anything of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, baby boomers, I think they have the worst of it all, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Because their time period was 1944 to 1964.
Yeah.
Things were really different back then. Really, really different.
Yeah.
So, that's when like the television came out and the concept of like advertisement and the market really sprung about in those kind of years.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's kind of like secondhand. Like we know those things exist. Nowadays, we have Amazon.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that people born in this era of baby boomers, they're so wrong in their predictions.
Oh yeah.
On what it was like to be today.
Oh yeah. When they were talking about like what the future is going to be like.
Yeah, like flying cars, things like that.
Oh yeah.
It's like, no, not really.
Yeah.
Over exaggerated.
Yeah. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Imagine that. We can't even trust people on the ground. Trust people in the air.
I think. Do you think flying cars will be around in like 2 generations?
I think the technology will be able to achieve that.
Yeah.
But it won't be mainstream for a long, long time.
Okay. Like commercial.
Yeah, commercial wise.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. How is it going to be regulated? What's it going to be like? I mean, we're pretty much going to throw out all of the highways we build and all the infrastructure, right? If we go with like all the flying cars.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions to be asked and a lot of questions to be answered.
And to make it mainstream, it would have to be, you have to mass produce it.
Right.
Mass production takes like corporations to, invest money into all that kind of stuff.
You know what is a good idea though? When they construct like massive freeways underground.
Yeah.
Elon Musk was talking about that.
Yeah.
So a good solution to a lot of traffic, especially in big cities like LA, New York, is to build underground freeways.
All right.
So there's this movie, I, Robot. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah. No, I haven't.
But there's a scene where Will Smith, he's underground and he's going through like a freeway, and that's what I imagine it being like. So they don't really show it. But it was like a autopilot car going through the freeway.
Yeah.
And it was nothing but highway, nothing but asphalt and streets. There was like no pedestrians.
Right. Because no one was living.
Nothing was living down there. It was specifically a space for automobiles to move around. So that's something to think about in terms of the future that we can see in our lifetime.
Wow.
But that would be a good idea, because traffic here is always bad. Always worse, because we're not near LA. We're more toward Orange County, which traffic is not as bad.
Right.
But yeah, who knows? In the future, we're gonna get better. What were we talking about? So technology nowadays, crazy.
Yeah.
What's going on nowadays? Do you think people will be comfortable with self-driving cars in the future?
Do I think people will be comfortable with it?
Yeah, like do you think it will become a mainstream thing? Like on the freeways, on the 60?
Comfortable with it. Within how long, you said?
I guess in a generation or two.
Oh yeah, I think in a generation self-driving cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people would.
They think they'll ask that question to us, like, "Oh, you guys use it to drive your cars manually?"
Oh yeah, I
dude.
would say so. Yeah, or you know what I think? I think they should create cars where they have both modes, and you get to choose.
Like Tesla.
Yeah. And it's like if I think they're still mastering that technology. They haven't really gotten there. Maybe in 2 generations I can see that.
I don't know. I know a lot of truckers won't be happy in terms of that technology.
Right, yeah.
But again, it's a technology that needs to be perfected, and it needs a lot of improvement. But I mean, it's not only that. There's like automation in terms of every market that can be applied to.
Yeah.
Automation in fast food, automation in I guess manufacturing. It's already happened. Automation in terms of like AI. I don't know, programming flights or even flying airplanes.
Right.
So that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
A lot can happen with this type of technology.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The options are limitless.
Yeah.
Because I recently read an article how pilots, there's like a short of a pilots flying the commercial airliners.
Okay.
So they were thinking about that. Yeah. But there's a bunch of arguments like there needs to be a pilot behind the wheel. And if a computer was there, it wouldn't be as, I guess, reliable. But who knows, really. It's something to think about.
Yeah.
It really is. But yeah, Andrew Yang, he really talks about everything about AI and automation in terms of his book, The War on Normal People.
The War on Normal People.
That's what he's always pushing. He's like, oh, technology's going to change.
Yeah.
And it's too late. Like, we need to do something about it. So he pushes this UBI movement, the freedom dividend. That's what he calls it. So a lot of people like him. Especially on 4chan and other media outlets like Reddit. They love him. He's a very popular guy. And I think a reason for that is because he's such a, I guess, a familiar figure when it comes to young people. So he's gone through the college system. He knows what it's like to run a startup company and how it fails and how to make it in corporate America. So he's been through the struggle.
Yes.
He has a family. He has a kid who's autistic.
Yes.
So he has a lot of obstacles to handle.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think he's going to make it.
Wow.
Because when it comes to the Democrats, they're so heavily fueled by like identity politics and I think that's where most of the funding comes from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think something to think about would be this month is Pride Month, right? A lot of companies are really chipping in. They're really cashing into that pride vibe.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
And those are the companies too that really fund a lot of the political movements. Yeah. Identity politics wise, and all those Democrats like Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris. Yeah. And other people I can't name.
Yeah. It's so funny. I just had a thought. It literally escaped my head. I'll tell you later if I remember again. But.
Yeah. So just to recap, this is episode 6, 5, something like that.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. Continue to do this. We don't really have a plan. We're just going at it.
Yeah. Just gonna talk.
We're just talking at different locations.
Yeah.
We're never gonna be in the same location, maybe.
Oh God, we're gonna run out of locations soon enough.
Be prepared. We're gonna go everywhere, possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, still going strong. Nowadays, everything's kind of chill in terms of the political spectrum.
Yeah.
The only time I really research politics is when I'm like on Reddit or I look up something 20 minutes before we talk. But nothing else going on. Summer 2019.
Yeah.
You're still doing things.
Yeah.
And how's your channel going?
Oh, it's going well, man. It's going well. I have 12, I think, videos up. I'm making the 13th one. This one's going to be probably the most important, and I spent a good amount of time actually making this one because I wanted to go in depth on this one, and it's about the hierarchy of scientific evidence, right? What we've talked about a couple times on this podcast, how people throw evidence around left and right, but we don't know what is quality evidence and what is low quality evidence.
Right, we talked about that before.
Yeah. So just basically, I just go over the pyramid, the different 7 levels, kind of in depth. Then I talk at the end about how you can not just use it, but certain ways of thinking that will help you to seek the truth and not just go based off of, oh, I just saw this one article that was like saying that Trump wants to deport all, immigrants and he hates immigrants and he hates Muslims and he hates Mexicans, and it's like, let's relax here for a second.
Scrolling through Instagram, see that.
Yeah, I know. Or like a meme or something, like you're not going to, how is that valid information? It can be. I'm not saying it's not all the time, but come on, man, do your research. One of the keys that I add in at the end, there's like 4 steps that I give on like how to properly look at information. One is the devil's in the details. So don't be like, oh my God, I saw the headlines. Trump wants to ban all Muslims. It's like, hold on there, buddy.
Well, I think most of the time when people have that kind of behavior where they share those like outlandish like news articles, they're really like flexing to their friends. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like everyone's in their own like social circle.
Yeah.
And when someone shares that kind of story, other friends are going to see it.
Yeah.
They're kind of saying, hey, look, there's a bad person that we need to go against, and look how virtuous I am for sharing this kind of thing.
Yes. My status should go up amongst you guys.
So it's an up game in that kind of like environment.
Yeah.
So I think most of the time that's what happens.
100%.
Like on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the social media game. Because, nowadays, the left, and I keep saying that as of like isolating them, they really are like an unorganized amount of people. You know what I mean? So even when it comes to the protests, a lot of it's unorganized. A lot of it is just like unnecessary. Yeah. It causes more damage than good.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just like a bunch of impulsive behavior, especially when it comes to like sharing things and yelling at people online, having arguments. No one can get along. So I think they really are on the type of fuel that runs out really quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think sometimes I wonder how can they be so sure about their position? That's how I kind of got away from the left, because I was raised in California in one of the most democratic areas, right? In my high school, one of the insults I got was like, "Hey man, are you like a Republican or something?" It's like, and I knew it's indoctrinated into you, people automatically, because you're a minority. I'm Indian, by the way. They think you should align with the left, right?
Yeah.
So I've always had this idea that Democrats are the virtuous ones, Republicans are the mean ones. Growing up. But whenever information like that would be thrown around, I would always ask myself, like later on in my older ages when I got into college first, right?
Yeah.
Was how is this, it just doesn't make sense, number one, and how is it so easy to villainize the other side? Are they really, I just can't picture how these people think that they're so correct and they don't want to at least even question what they're taught.
Right.
That's my problem. And then when I started questioning everything, I'm like, okay. There's a whole other side here. There's a whole, not just a side. I don't want to say it's A and B. That's binary, fallacy or whatever. But there's a whole spectrum, right? What are all these different points in the spectrum? Can we discuss that, or are we all just like, gonna get into this one little corner on the far left end of the spectrum? Dude, I have one thing to say. Okay, this pissed me off actually.
Okay.
This is the kind of propaganda that's been going around. My sister on social media found something. Okay. She mentioned it to our family just as a joke, but she doesn't really understand politics the way I do, and I know she doesn't. She's not even interested in politics, right? But she said equality is not. We were talking about something. We were joking around with each other. She was like, "Yeah, but equality is not the same thing as equity." And I was like, oh my God, what did you just say? What did you just, so repeat that again. You said equality is not the same thing as equity? She's like, yeah, it's not. Like, equity is better, isn't it? And I'm like, hold on there. Where are you getting your information from? She's like, no, I just saw it on, someone posted something on social media, and the example they gave was like, if you're sitting in a baseball arena, I think it was.
I think I've seen that before. It's like a little kid gets a bigger step.
The stool, yes, because everyone needs to have the same height
to watch the game. Yeah.
But equality means everyone gets the same stool.
Yeah.
But if people have difference in height,
that's when equity steps in.
So the shorter kid needs a taller ladder, right? In that situation, I can understand. That kind of makes sense. It's logical because height is not a factor that you control.
Sure.
Right? Height is genetic for the most part. But when it comes to making money, when it comes to a lot of other stuff, I have this belief that a lot, if not most of it, is in your control. Now, not everything is in your control. I don't necessarily think that. I would say, I don't want to assign percentages to it, but if I was to think about it, it would be like 80-20 almost, or like 85-15, right?
Okay.
There's certain things that are not in your control, and you should not worry about those things. Just forget those, Do whatever you can, the best you can, and maximize whatever you do have control over. And when you do that, you will make more money. right? But now, is it fair to say this person has more money, this person doesn't? We need equity. That equity is essentially equality of outcome. That's literally what it is. But that's, anyways, that propaganda is just being thrown around, and my sister didn't realize the consequences of what her thought process was. You know?
Okay. What are your thoughts on like taxing the rich? So when it comes to wealthy individuals, they should really give more in terms of like, I don't know, tax income, things like that.
We've had an idea in economics that we talked about, right? Where there's 3 different types of taxation. So I might have explained this before.
I think that was like our second one.
Where there's like base taxing. I think it's called baseline taxing or whatever. There's regressive taxing and there's progressive taxing.
Right.
Okay. Taxation is all based on percentages, right? We are all split into tax brackets, right? And if you make a certain amount of income, you pay this much income tax, right? I think I'm supposing you're talking about income tax, because all other taxes everyone pays the same, right? Like it doesn't matter who's rich and who's not. If you go to a grocery store, the sales tax is going to be the same, right? But when it comes to income, it's different, divided into brackets. Republicans argue some Republicans say we should have a regressive tax system, meaning the people who are rich should pay less percentage-wise taxes. Because why is it, there is a logic behind it. It's not, people normally get this confused. They think regressive taxing means that
for themselves or something like that. They're like,
They think that the rich pay less. That's not true. The rich are always going to pay more, even if it's regressive tax, because it's based on percentage. So if a guy makes $1 million a year, he's going to be paying, let's say he pays 5%, or let's say he pays 10%, versus the poor guy pays 20%, right? The rich guy pays 10%. 10% of $1 million is still like $100,000.
Still a lot of money.
Yeah. If the poor person makes, like, let's say 10,000, I don't want to say 10,000, I don't know, nobody makes 10,000 a year, but
like 50?
Let's say 50,000, and he has to pay 20% of that. He's still paying a lot less than the rich guy is, right? But he's paying percentage-wise higher, okay? Because what they say is that it's only fair. Why is it unfair that these people who may have worked hard to make their money have to pay a lot more? They already have to pay a lot more, you know? So why don't we lower the percentage for them a little bit, you know? Let them keep a little bit of their money, right? And maybe they'll invest that into the economy, and the economy will grow. Some people will save it in a bank. That bank can then loan it out to different, people who want to buy houses or whatever, right? Complicated system, but anyways, that's regressive taxation. Baseline is everyone pays the same thing. There's no tax brackets. It's all percentage-wise the same. If it'll all be like 10%, let's say, whatever your income is.
Okay.
Progressive taxing is where the rich pay a higher percentage. So if a guy makes $1 million a year, he's got to pay like 30% tax. So this guy poor has to pay like 20, right? 30% tax will be $300,000 instead of $100,000. This guy pays like
a lot less than that,
right? Yeah, so very little compared to that.
What comes to mind, to be honest, Hollywood. A lot of people who work for Hollywood are really progressive, and they're on the left. A lot of them are rich. So how come they're really pushing this agenda that would really go against their own
self-interest?
Yeah.
Because I think there's different types of self-interest.
Okay.
First of all, I don't think a lot of the people in Hollywood understand money and taxation and all that, so I really don't even know.
We're being very broad here. So
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, I don't think so.
A lot of them, yeah.
Some of them probably do. Maybe they have accountants and whatever.
I don't know, because what I was going to say before you go is that a lot of individuals in the Hollywood like whole playing field, they love just saying things and getting the attention. So a lot of, I guess, of their revenue comes from publicity in general. So I think that's their main tactic overall, is that if they're really siding with a bigger voice, they'll get a lot of more revenue, you know what I mean? So a lot of models nowadays, they'll go with that kind of agenda here and there. But that's all I was going to say.
Yeah. So... Oh crap! I forgot what I was gonna say too. But yeah, that's the idea between like regressive. Hollywood taxing, right? Different types of self-interest. I think when it comes to Hollywood people, they're in their own little bubble where it doesn't matter what you personally think. You are living in a world where if you say something wrong, you have a reputation.
Well, there's an image to keep up. Right?
Yes.
So they can't really risk their reputation, I suppose?
Yes. So what the idea behind it is that they have to side with the pseudo-moralistic people, you know? So they take all these stances, and I talk about this in my video, actually.
Okay.
I actually refer to celebrities, you know? And I tell people, you know, like, that's appeal to authority.
Right.
They use their authority to look good in front of their friends and their fans and their peers and whatever, right? Especially their fans, right? But because it's the politically correct thing to say, they have to be fake about it, you know, even if they don't think so. But yeah, I mean, it essentially just comes down to look how good I am, my reputation. They have to guard their reputation. That's all the Hollywood game is about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To get all these gigs, you got to kind of play the game a little, you know. But when it comes to taxation and whatever, I mean, they have a lot of money. I don't even think they really care about like I don't know, some of these. I don't want to talk just Robert Downey Jr. because he's like one of the highest paid actors of all time, if not the highest paid. I think he's behind Dwayne The Rock Johnson or whatever. How much? I don't think he would mind paying a progressive tax. It's like
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Just looking up highest paid actors and actresses, but
Okay.
Yeah, it's a different kind of world that we're never going to experience.
Yeah.
Because they're always on camera, even like off camera. Like they always got to play a part. They got to be part of a family. It's very tough to really, I guess, have a normal life.
Yeah. I personally would be going for the baseline tax. That's my whole like middle ground approach, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know that the rich would still have to pay a lot more, but I think once you get to a certain level of rich, so to speak,
what's considered like rich in America?
It depends, right? If I think to be in the top, there's been studies, I have to look them up, but on what it takes to be, what is categorized as the top 5%. Like how much money do you have to make, or top 1%? How much money do you got to make? I think the top 1% was like $1 million to $2 million a year.
A year?
Yeah, $2 million a year.
I thought it'd be more.
Like oh no, dude! Top 1% is like around 1 to 2. I forget. Don't quote me here. But it's somewhere around that much. Okay. Something in the millions, but low millions.
Because they got to make like, if you want to be a millionaire, you have to like make, I don't know, like a lot of millions of dollars to live that kind of lifestyle. Because there's so much upkeep.
Yeah. I think it was the top 400 people. The richest 400 people in America own more than the rest of the population, like 300 million people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, God, it's so bad. I know, right?
I mean, yeah, it's the market. It's capitalism, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because, you know, those people who are in that kind of category, they've been, I guess, gaining wealth their entire life, I suppose. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them are older too, so they've had time to accumulate all that wealth.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking here, top paid actors and actresses. Number one be George Clooney at $239 million.
Wow.
And
wait.
all these figures are pre-tax. Is this per year? Let's see.
There was a second list down there of top 10. What is that one? Actresses.
Actresses. Scarlett Johansson being number one. But is this like annual?
Oh, George Clooney is, yeah.
Annual income?
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is third, yeah. Okay. Wow, George Clooney makes almost twice as much as the second place guy.
Yeah, he does make a lot of money. I think because he has a lot of deals with a lot of companies. So he has a lot of brand deals. And they pay him big time. Wow. Like it's really expensive to get him like even on a talk show.
Yeah. And was that their net worth or what?
No, that wasn't their net worth. Their net worth has to be larger.
Way larger, I know.
Way larger, yeah. Top net worth. Actors. And I like how we're going to actors as like the pinnacle of success.
I know. There could be more. Businessmen, you know.
Businessmen, CEOs. Other people. The richest actors. I get net worth? I want net worth. Oh... with the highest net worth. There's a lot though. Yeah. It's a huge business, Hollywood. Huge.
Oh yeah.
nowadays. Of course, Beyonce's up there. Elton John.
That's the 21st.
Yeah.
Position.
I never listened to Elton John. The only one I know is like one song.
Yeah, I know one from The Lion King, and I think that's it.
Lion King. Yeah. When does that come out? In July?
Yeah, next month, July 19th.
July 19th. Wow.
Yeah.
You're really excited about that, aren't you?
I am. I'm excited for, because I don't think they're going to make it exactly like the cartoon. And I'm excited to see what they come up with that's kind of new or deeper analysis.
I saw Aladdin, by the way.
Did you?
I did.
What'd you think?
Like it was all right. It was kind of long, a little longer.
Yeah. Spoilers, maybe.
It's been out for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah. Dude, it's been out for like a month now.
A month? Okay.
Yeah, a month.
I thought it was okay. The singing was good.
Yeah.
The visuals were pretty good.
Yeah.
The dialogue could have been better, to be honest.
I agree. The dialogue could have been better.
Yeah, Will Smith wasn't as funny as he could be.
Yeah.
But the visuals were great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It could have been better. What about you?
I agree. It could have been better.
I would give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe 6.5.
Yeah. I think the best person in the movie, it was the actress Jasmine, actually.
Okay. Who was she?
Jasmine.
Where did she come up? She came out of nowhere.
She did come out of nowhere, but I liked her acting. Compared to Aladdin, dude, Aladdin was like so monotonous. I don't know why. The guy who played him, I don't know. Naomi Scott.
Yeah. What else is she playing?
She played a good Jasmine. Aladdin.
She put in The Martian? Okay. Oh, she was the Power Ranger. That's right. Brother.
Wait, what?
My brother-in-law, he watched the Power Rangers, and she was like the pink one, I think.
Okay.
I don't know, but yeah, she. A lot of people complained because she wasn't Indian enough. Apparently,
she wasn't Indian enough.
That's what I was hearing on a couple of social media. But who cares? She's British.
Right.
So.
Okay. So what I know. Okay. So Aladdin is based in ancient like Arabic roots or something like that. So it's more of like I think it's Afghanistan if I'm not correct, like old time Afghanistan.
Okay.
Something like that, or like Pakistan or something, some of that area. Well, Pakistan actually used to be India. Pakistan didn't even exist like until 1947. So,
oh really? And then they separated or something.
Yeah, then they formed Pakistan.
Okay.
Mainly because of like the divide between religion. Hindu and Muslim.
Right, Muslim. Yeah, they don't really get along.
Yeah. Oh, not at all.
Not at all. So, yeah, what I didn't like about the movie was a few things. There was like a love interest between the genie and the servant girl. Remember that development?
Yeah, that was different. Yeah.
I thought that was unnecessary. It just took away time from Aladdin and Jasmine.
Oh yeah.
So there was that.
Yeah.
I thought it was really neat how. There was like this, I guess in the original it was like that too, but there was like this playful tension between Aladdin and Jasmine.
In the early part of the movie, or?
Early part of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like when he snuck by like everything and went to go see her, and how she played the lie that she was like a servant or something like that. So that was like cute chemistry, I suppose. And the bad guy, Jafar, I thought they could have found a better actor, to be honest.
Oh.
He didn't look like an evil guy at all. 100%. I'm like, really? This is Jafar?
Like, he didn't look evil at all, and his acting was like so bad.
It was over the top.
Yeah.
It was a little too much. It's like, okay, dude, we know.
Yeah.
You're not an evil guy.
I know.
But yeah, they could have been better. What else?
They say the quality of a good movie is based on the quality of the villain.
Right.
Not the good guy. Mm-hmm. Good guy's always going to be good, but...
It is the villain. It's how the villain tests the hero.
Tests the hero.
That's how it is.
That's the key, yes.
That's the key. That's like so many great villains throughout history.
Yeah.
In Pirates of the Caribbean, they got him right. What was his name?
Barbossa?
Barbossa. He was a good villain.
Yeah.
Disney comes up with some pretty good villains in the past. But nowadays...
Maleficent, my favorite villain.
Maleficent. Yeah. She was a really good villain right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not doing well with these kind of live action movies.
I've heard.
Not as well as they should be doing, to be honest.
Yeah. I think they're making revenue. I just don't think that the movies themselves are good enough.
They're trying to appeal to the culture nowadays, and it's kind of overbearing.
Yeah.
Like there was a interaction between this guy, like the Scottish prince and Jasmine.
Oh, yeah.
There was that weird like dialogue between them two. I'm like, okay, this could have been better.
Yeah.
They were trying to be funny at the same time. They're trying to appeal like the culture,
right?
Like how like it's awkward to be dating now and then.
Yeah.
So that could have been better.
Mm-hmm. One thing, I don't know if you noticed this one, but Jasmine being the Empress now.
They really did push that agenda.
Yeah.
Every now and then. Whenever there was a Jasmine scene, they never failed to mention how she needed to be like on the top or in position of power.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was fine, but they pushed it a little too much.
Okay. Yeah, no, same.
Yeah.
It's like cool, that's fine and all, but I agree. You're pushing it like you're pushing an agenda hardcore, and I understand that people think differently when it comes to movies and stuff, but I don't think movies have a place in politics. Not too much.
Do you think they were trying to?
Yes, the whole feminist. They were trying to appeal to the whole feminist like crowd, which is fine because I know that the latest generation, the youngest people who are going to probably be watching this, and the millennials.
Yeah, I thought it was just for the kids, to be honest.
They're more, I guess I don't want to say left. Yeah, I guess left leaning. But that's why I think they want to appeal to this thing. But people would say movies are a part of culture, and culture influences how people think, and that shows that there is the fact that we are showing her in a position of power shows that there is no discrimination or less discrimination, right?
Okay.
So all movies nowadays have, almost all movies, not all, but all major motion Disney pictures have like this sort of feminist undertone to it. For example, the end of the Avengers, the latest Avengers. Did you see that? I don't know if you noticed, there was one scene where they were all, remember this is like massive battle at the end?
There was a bunch of girls. And
there was one scene where it was like all the females, or like the main females came together and they're like, we need to help our fellow female or something like that. Right. And they all go help their friends. Again, fine. That's totally fine. But
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. That's.
I thought it was kind of weird that Pepper, Tony's wife.
Yeah.
How come she joined the fight? That was kind of weird.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I was like, what the hell? Why is she here? Does she even fight? I think she fought in the third Iron Man, but
yeah,
it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Iron Woman. Iron Woman. It's a new position of power. They have this, I don't know, this agenda that they always kind of push in movies. But is it safe to like call it out like that? Like, is it really hardcore that they're?
Oh no, I don't think it's hardcore.
Yeah.
But
it's subtle in a way.
It's subtle, yes, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I just don't think that they should be in every single movie. Like, I feel like they're trying to appease too much.
Come to think of it, it's been in every single movie now, and like even in Star Wars, recent Avengers movies, in Jasmine, in the Aladdin recently. Yeah. It's hardcore in Star Wars, and that's why a lot of people didn't like the 7th episode.
Yeah.
Did you see the 7th episode of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay.
For Force Awakens?
The one after that. It was
Rogue One.
The one after that. Which was
episode 8. You mean then?
Episode 8, I think. Yeah. It was the Return of a Jedi. No.
Yeah.
The one that people didn't like.
Yeah. But it was one of the actual trilogy episodes, right?
It was, yeah.
Okay. It wasn't like one of those side movies or whatever? Like Rogue One?
No. It wasn't like one of those...
Yeah. It was episode 8, I'm sure then.
Episode 8, yeah.
Episode 9's coming out this year, no?
It is. It was The Last Jedi.
Okay. Oh, The Last Jedi.
Yeah. They haven't been really... they're not doing so well in the Star Wars movies.
Oh, yeah?
To be honest. The most recent one was Solo, A Star Wars Story.
Yeah.
Wasn't too good. It was one of those one-offs.
Okay. Oh, I didn't watch Solo.
It wasn't that good. I watched it.
Yeah.
It's... they're not getting as good in terms of like producing a good Star Wars movie. Like the last good Star Wars movie I saw in theaters was Rogue One.
Right.
Straight, clean-cut Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It's.
I've liked the trilogy so far. I do think they are the trilogy, meaning not Solo, obviously, but
right.
So far I've somewhat liked it, as long as I'm keeping up with the story, because it's a little bit.
I think it's just a different kind of fan base they're appealing to, and when it comes to the Star Wars fan base, they're hardcore about what's right, what's wrong, what's canon, what shouldn't be there, what's the correct storyline, and I think Disney is not really equipped to appeal to that kind of fan base.
Yeah.
The way they really appeal to the Marvel fan base. They do a really good job in that sense, where they appeal to a lot of the Marvel comic book fans.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're really doing well with Star Wars nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, they just opened Star Wars Land. That's making a lot of revenue.
Okay.
What else? Yeah, I mean, Disney, they're doing their best.
Yeah.
They're not doing too well in the Star Wars range. They're doing great in the Avengers. I mean, the Marvel range. In terms of the animated movies that they're remaking, they could be doing better. We'll see how the Lion King turns out.
Yeah.
Little side note, I saw a lot of couples at the Aladdin showing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, a lot of couples.
Okay.
So I think Disney knew that, and they were trying to appeal to that kind of demographic.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Yeah. Aladdin is definitely—it's a whole romance story.
It's a romance
right?
story, yeah. Star-crossed lovers.
Yeah. yeah. Compared to like The Little Mermaid or The Lion King, I don't think they put as much emphasis on the love aspect of it. Like The Little Mermaid, it's more about like, I want to explore what I haven't explored, and like being trapped within parents and your own little world, and going out there and exploring, right? Love is still in the story. The Lion King is more about taking your responsibility, your position in the hierarchy, your whatever, and whatever. But love is still in there. It's not the main theme, though. Aladdin, I feel like it's the main thing, That's the whole, like, romance part of it. But
what makes a good romance movie? Like, what kind of romance movies have you seen? That really like pop out.
That are good?
That are good.
I'll tell you this, dude. I haven't seen too many romance movies that I liked that were American.
Oh, really?
But I've seen Bollywood romance movies that I loved. I was like, wow. I was all over it, Nowadays, I'm not so into romance movies because I feel like I have a more mature understanding of how romance and love really works. Which is the
magic is gone.
The magic of the spell is a little gone, right? No. I think nowadays, for me, it's more about creating that spell on the other end than being on the end where I have the spell cast on me.
Such an alpha male guy. Right? See where they're going at.
But I don't know. When I was younger, I would fall for it, and I would love all of that stuff.
Well, it's like a kid thing, right? So it's like a very appealing thing to a lot of developing kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, romance movies. Titanic was a big one.
Oh yeah.
I remember that being a really huge thing.
That was a good movie, actually. That one was a good one.
It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's one of the top for a reason.
Yeah.
But love stories in general, love movies, romance. It's not really I guess a guy thing. It could be, but
it's possible.
Recently I haven't been too deep into that kind of realm because there hasn't really been any recent good romance movies. Like I guess like the latest good one was like A Notebook, and that came out like in 2004. But lately, I don't know. It's hard to make a really good romance movie.
Yeah. I feel like the romance
Twilight.
Novels. Twilight. No, seriously, I was gonna bring that up.
You're gonna bring that up?
That's more on the female, side of things.
Okay, so it appeals to the female demographic.
Yeah.
Well, it's because she has to choose, right? And it's really based on the woman's perspective and how difficult it is. To be in that kind of environment. I get that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But almost every single Bollywood movie, almost every single one has been about love.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they capitalize on the industry. There is not much going on other than just love.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, don't you think you guys can explore the realm outside of love a little bit? And they have been testing it recently, but from like the origins of Bollywood all the way up to like the year 2000, or like 2005, like 99% of movies have just been love.
The movie you showed me that was Bollywood themed, it was like Between the Two Kings. What was it called?
Oh, Padmavati.
How do you spell that?
P-A-D.
B-A-D.
No, P-A-D.
P-A-D.
There it is.
Okay. But was that like a shift between like romance?
It's still somewhat romance, but that one was a little bit of a shift. There's a girl that
they're after?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Right.
There's still that's still the main part of like the theme, is love. But this one does play on other themes as well, like power, war, things of that nature.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I can see that. In Bollywood movies, are they like? They're always musicals, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's always a song going on.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah, apparently it's really popular.
Yes.
It's like one of the most top income revenue.
Yes.
Movie genres, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I can't say I'm a fan because this is the only movie that you've shown me that's Bollywood style.
Yeah. So you didn't like the movie?
I thought it was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What really stood out was, of course, the musicals.
Right.
They really went all out in terms of like the visuals and the singing. Yeah.
It's like Disney movies now.
It's like a mature Disney type of movie.
Yeah, every Bollywood movie has to have music and songs in it. Most of them are about love.
Oh yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah, in this movie there was a few about love too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, recently, no romance movies that come to mind.
Oh yeah.
A recent good movie I saw was John Wick 3.
Yeah.
You haven't
Pure
seen
action.
That. Pure action. It's a different kind of action because it's like a very nitty gritty, like mature type of action, and no other movie has really done that kind of action before.
Okay.
Like there's been the James Bond movies, but they're kind of like low key.
Yeah.
In terms of like the violence.
Okay.
They're more of like the style of James Bond. They're more of like the appeal of James Bond and how it is to be like a secret agent. Mm-hmm. But John Wick is just straight up.
Hey, let's just kill each other.
Just violence, yeah.
They really or let's just go kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But recently the movie industry's been pretty well. Avengers did pretty good.
Yeah.
And I guess Star Wars Homecoming? No. Away
Spider-Man?
from Home. Yeah. Spider-Man.
Is it Star Wars Homecoming?
Sorry.
It says Spider-Man Far Away from Home.
Yeah.
Hold
on. Let me pause this real quick.
Okay.
Okay, part 2.
Yeah.
Bathroom break, I suppose. Yeah. So, what were we talking about? Movies in general. I mean, do you think people will stop going to the theater?
Oh, no. I feel like more people are going to move towards the movie theaters.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
why would you think that?
Because recently there have been like thank you clips in movies. I think there was one like before Avengers. They're like, thank you for coming to the movies. We appreciate that you go to your local theater and pay for the movies and come here. Because there's been a lot of I guess online stealing or just people staying at home and watching movies in general.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, even with Netflix, they provide so much content nowadays, and Netflix, they really they dominate that kind of streaming service.
Right.
So, they're making the argument online where theaters are in trouble, that they should worry and that might change the market, but I don't think it will, to be honest. Yeah. I don't know. The movie business is really strange. It really is. I mean, it costs so much to even make a movie. Because how much did the Avengers make? Or how much did they spend? Avengers Endgame cost.
It was like, what, 300 million?
It cost roughly $350 million.
Wow. Wow, and 150 million just to market worldwide. How much did it end up making, by the way?
A lot. It passed Titanic.
Oh, did it? Okay. But did it become number 1 of all time or no?
No.
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Ah, man, I was hoping it would.
It didn't beat Avatar. I know that for sure.
Okay. Avatar was really all that good. Why did people want to see Avatar so bad?
I think the reason why it's so good because it was like one of the first 3D kind of movie.
Okay.
So I think that was the main attraction.
Okay.
And why it did so well.
Right.
But that's what made it popular.
So, okay. So how much did it end up? Was it number 2 though?
I think it was number 3.
Okay. And do you think it's still playing in theaters? That's the question. Because I feel like
it's still playing. It definitely is.
Okay.
Depends
on how close it is behind Avatar.
It does depend.
Here we go.
Summary.
2.7 billion. There we go. Because I think Avatar was 2.9 billion.
Was it 2.9?
Yeah. If they still have time in the theaters, I think they have a shot. It depends on how long it stays in theaters and how many people watch it. But I think they have a shot of maybe beating that one movie we just talked about. Avatar, yes.
Did you see that movie?
I did not, no.
You did not? Really?
No.
Okay, you're the first person I've met
wow.
who hasn't seen that movie. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's huge.
I heard it was huge, yeah. I heard about the advertising and everything.
Yeah. All time. Domestic, opening weekends, winter, spring.
I think just worldwide.
Worldwide?
Avatar,
that's what they're saying. It is number 2 according to Box Office Mojo.
So it's not 2.9 billion. Avatar is 2.788 billion. So they're literally right there, dude. Avengers can beat it. Avengers can beat it. I hope it does.
I'm surprised Avengers really got up there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think it would do so well. Because I thought Infinity War was better, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
But people, they really wanted to watch the final, I guess, movie in that series. Yeah. It's surprising how well it did.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Jeez. I think you could beat it, given its time. But yeah, that's crazy.
When did it come out? April 27th?
April.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it still has some time in theaters. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's something, man. That's
really something. But of course, it will never beat the number 1 movie of all time. You know what that is?
Oh, Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
First color motion color picture.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Adjusting for inflation. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's interesting to know. I mean, yeah, it costs so much to make. Jeez. Why does it cost so much to make a movie?
I don't know, man.
I guess of that magnitude, a lot of the producing money goes into, I guess, visual effects. A lot of computer-aided technology, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's also, paying the actors and...
That too. They have to pay the actors a big amount for them to get into the movie.
And they know that they're projecting to make a certain amount of money, So I think the projections are just very high. And if they think that the projections, like if it's going to do well, they're going to spend a lot of money on it, Mm-hmm. So they spent, 356 million plus 150?
How much did they spend on of Avatar?
Well, probably less, dude.
237. Yeah. It's like 100 less.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, Fox.
Distributor.
Wow. It made 77 million in its opening weekend, but Endgame, they made 357 million.
Wow.
On its opening weekend.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
It's become so popular nowadays.
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, I think when the very first Marvel movie came out, I knew they were going to make it big time.
Yeah.
Because they're tapping into this fan base that loves to spend money. They love it. When it comes to the comic book people, they love to spend money on comics, figures, anything kind of merchandise that gets them involved in this kind of fan base and culture.
Yeah.
They did a really good job on tapping in on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they're crazy about that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think the next runner-up in terms of fan base merchandise and revenue would be anime people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think they're the number 1 fan base that spends the most money.
Yeah.
Let's type that in, actually. Fan bases that spend the most money. Fan bases spend the most money. I think it has to be anime.
Okay.
Spending NFL fan bases? No. Sports fans. Do sports fans do they spend a lot? I don't know.
Sports fans? Oh, yeah. I think they do. I don't know if it's as much as movies though.
Oh, okay.
But there's all the gear and all that stuff too,
Okay. Type in cultures.
I think it's based. Yeah, if you write cultures, they might think it's like country.
Yeah, the search is kind of weird here, but it's got to be, to be honest.
Something, like that.
Something the highest. But yeah, they did a really good job on tapping in on that.
Yeah. How much do you think? What's it called? Makes Disneyland.
Disneyland?
Not just Disneyland, but there's Disneyland, but there's also. What are the other theme parks? I'm blanking here. Legoland. They have
Legoland.
Universal Studios.
Knott's. What else is there? There's Six Flags. All the theme parks. Disneyland is the biggest by far.
Yeah.
To be honest, and theme parks, they've done well in the past.
Right.
They really have. But I haven't been one in a long time. It's like a kid thing. So it's a family attraction that really gets people hooked.
Yeah.
And I can't really find any. There's no stats on this. Why?
Yeah.
There should be. They've got to be, though. I'm pretty sure they are, because they spent so much money on this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Anime Expo's coming up soon.
Okay.
At the beginning of July.
Okay. You're going to
go? Yeah, I'm going to go.
Okay.
And it's in LA, downtown LA. And there's so much action down there. There's like so much merchandise, and there's all these different like famous people that come together. It's a huge scene overall.
Yeah.
Like the next runner-up, I would think, or the kind of event with that kind of magnitude would be Comic-Con.
Right.
And that's happening soon, actually. When is Comic-Con? Summer of 2019. That's got to be like July. August, July, Comic-Con, San Diego. That's the big one.
Right.
So July 18th-ish. Yeah. Huge fan bases. Crazy money involved.
Yeah.
Just a lot of money. And let's see here. Comics in general, I wouldn't say they make as much money as like the anime business. I'm not too sure, but like comics, it's like a American thing. You know what I mean? So back in the early like 40s, Marvel came out, 50s, something like that, and then DC came out.
Okay.
It started in America.
Yeah. There was I met a guy recently. He told me about, let me show you real quick, an anime. The anime he told me to look at was called Code Geass.
Oh yeah? That's on Netflix, isn't it? Yeah, I've heard of that.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen it actually though.
It's all about morality, apparently.
It's a very psychological, deep show that touching a lot of issues here and there.
Yeah.
I've never seen it though. It's kind of an older anime. It came out in when did it come out? 2010-ish?
Okay.
Maybe? 2008.
Yeah.
Okay. So
is there English for it or an English version?
I don't think that. I think there is.
Okay.
There has to be.
Okay.
But not the entire thing yet.
Yeah.
It's not quite a mainstream anime, but I heard it's really good.
Okay.
Who knows? It's not everyone's taste, to be honest.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, I guess recently I've been watching more anime because I'm having more free time.
Yeah, okay.
But before I didn't really know a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
My brother and sister they're big anime fans here and there. But I grew up watching like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z here and there.
Yeah.
And like Avatar, Last Airbender.
Yeah.
It's not really an anime, it's like a cartoon.
It's more of an American,
Yeah, more an American thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of anime, I didn't really grow up too much on it, to be honest. But most animes nowadays, they're kind of mature. And it takes a specific kind of taste to really get into them.
Okay.
But you're not really into anime, are you?
It's not that I don't want to be, and it's not that I can't get into it. It's just that I haven't taken the time to.
I think that's what most people say.
Yeah.
They don't really take the time to really get into it. Because, I don't know, is it really time consuming.
Well, it's not as popularized, I think, as other shows like Game of Thrones or whatever else, right?
True. Right.
I've never thought about going out of my way. That's what I'm saying, to like search for an anime that I think I would like, besides Dragon Ball Z. But the only reason I like that one is because it was popularized.
That was popularized in a lot of mainstream news outlets or networks, something like that.
Yeah, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Those are the two ones that I can remember. I wasn't really into Naruto or Pokemon.
Oh yeah?
I was not at all into Pokemon.
Pokemon, my brother and sister were huge into that.
Oh yeah?
Even my brother-in-law, yeah.
Okay.
I never got into it, to be honest.
Yeah. No, me either.
But yeah, I guess it's like it's definitely a Japanese thing, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of it's not going to be popularized by American, networks here and there. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you can really compare shows like Game of Thrones in this kind of genre, because they're like different spectrums overall. They're different styles of watching overall.
Well, what I'm saying is just time-wise, right?
Time-wise?
Like, if depends on like if
isn't
someone
Game of
wants
Thrones like more of a time?
It is. No, and I'm not saying like it's about spending time on it.
Okay.
I'm saying because of the combination of these factors, like I wouldn't even know where to go to find any of this stuff. I mean, I guess Netflix, right? But I don't really have Netflix.
Okay.
I don't really even watch television as much as I used to. Mm-hmm. But if I did, I might look into it. I haven't seen... The only television I watch now in terms of TV is Game of Thrones, and maybe Suits a little bit here and there. Mm-hmm. But I used to watch a lot of TV. A lot. Like, I used to watch it all the time.
I think it's because of the culture that we have today. Mm-hmm. So Game of Thrones really got popularized because of... a lot of taboo subjects that it touched on in the beginning.
Yeah.
And of course, like media picked it up like that.
Yeah.
It got on talk show hosts, or talk show late nights, and everyone started talking about it. It was kind of like a Breaking Bad effect.
Wow. 30 million viewers per episode in the US. The franchise is worth $1 billion. The amount HBO pays out per episode is $15 million.
I never really got into it, to be honest, because the main barrier for me was getting access to Game of Thrones. I never paid
HBO
for
Go and whatever.
I never paid for HBO.
Yeah, no, me either, dude. And I never paid for HBO. I had HBO for free at UCLA because they have, like, if you're a student and you can log in through your student ID, they give you free HBO.
Okay.
So I watched it for those couple of years, but before that I would just, I mean, don't catch me or don't do anything, but before I used to, do a little something else.
The FBI agent's like,
Yeah.
calling you in right now.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, what made it so popular? You made a video on this, right?
Oh, yeah. I made like 3, yeah. I think what separates this show a lot is the fact that it has a very high negativity bias. So there are events that occur in the show that are not at all close to what, I don't want to say reality is, but they're not as close to what other movies show. Mm-hmm. There's a high amount of negativity that occurs. Bad things happen, even to the good guys. Mm-hmm. The good guy never wins, but doesn't win in the end, usually. And gets their head cut off and all this kind of stuff. Because of that, they have done research, and it shows that negativity sells a lot more than does, I guess, positivity, right?
Yeah, it was like a mature style of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
People were like, it's so much better.
Yeah.
Because there's everything in it that's like everything a guy could want or something like that.
Yeah, nudity, sex, violence, all that kind of stuff. But then there's also more like power struggles, love. It touches on like everything, or almost everything.
Yeah. So what went so wrong? Like they ended it off so abruptly.
People
hated it.
The directors wanted to go, I guess, do Star Wars or something like that. So they wanted
the real reason?
From what I've heard, and I guess, or maybe they were just sick and tired of Game of Thrones and producing it or directing it. But what I've heard is that HBO actually wanted, I think it was 10 seasons.
10 seasons?
10 full seasons.
Okay.
But these people, they wanted, the two directors, they wanted to finish it off. Like, let's just get this thing done.
Okay.
So season 7 was shorter than it should have been. Season 8 was way shorter than it should have been. They rushed it all. At the end, they made the dumbest decision. The very final episode is so stupid, in my opinion. It's so stupid. Like, I don't even want to even get into it or spoil it for people who haven't seen it, including you. Mm-hmm. But dumb decisions were made, or maybe it was the writers, not the directors. But I don't know. But
who knows?
Yeah. And I'm normally I don't just jump on the train or whatever, just to like get along with people and whatnot. But this is really bad. This actually was like like dissatisfying, man. I just didn't like it.
Okay.
I enjoyed the production. It was beautifully produced, very high quality when it comes to the visual effects, the imagery, the symbolism, but beyond that, not much. Some good things, but for the most part, the overall season wasn't bad. The last episode killed it off.
Okay.
I think. That was the worst, and they rushed it. Those are my two problems.
Yeah.
Two main problems.
Everyone just agrees on that.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad to say because you guys were with that journey for a long time, 8 seasons, right?
Yeah, I didn't start off. I started off at like when season 4 was out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Did you watch the first 3 seasons or?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm saying during the time period when season 5 was about to come out, and they were up to season 4, so I watched the first 4 seasons, binge watched, and then I continued from there. But I've been a fan for a while now.
Yeah, because it was a real bandwagon that people got onto.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my friends are watching it, so we can talk about what's going on and then what's going to happen here and there. It's sad to say, though, that it ended so terribly.
Oh, yeah. I would say terribly.
It's kind of sad.
It's so sad. One of the best, if actually was the best running show according to the highest rated show according to IMDb's ratings, and most people, it was such a...
Do you think it's the best show of all time?
I want to say yes. But I got more attached to another show, which is Suits. The characters on the show and everything like that, but the events that happen and the plot, everything Game of Thrones,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those are the main shows that you watched.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones and Suits.
Yeah, those two.
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it,
So
man.
cultured. Well, you've seen Mad Men, right?
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? You would like that show.
You know what's funny? Dude, only one person has ever told me about that, and they said the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They were like, hey...
well, it's like a version of Suits, but it's...
advertising?
Well, that's the plot, right? But the style of the show, it kind of has the same dialogue as better acting, of course. And what makes me think that you would like it is because it really focuses on like a power struggle, and it really dives deep into a lot of characters and how you can really get attached to them, and the development's great. It also really immerses you into a different time overall. They really do a good job of keeping the audience, I guess, locked into this time frame of the 1960s and 50s. So you get to learn a few history lessons on the way too. So that's pretty neat. But it does take quite a bit of time to commit yourself to.
Yeah.
Because each episode's like 40 minutes long, I think.
Right.
And there's like 7, 8 seasons.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. It depends how far you want to go.
Right.
But yeah, you would like it, to be honest.
Okay.
Mad Men.
Highly rated.
It is. So a lot of good shows out there, and you were really into Friends, weren't you?
Oh, big time. I've seen the show like 3 times over. I legitimately used to get sad when it was over. I was like, God, what do I watch now? Like, how am I going to spend my time now?
I never got into that show.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the humor as much.
Oh, really? I love the humor. I would laugh out loud, and
some of it was dry, some of it was really good.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a pioneering show.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of
my favorite character was Chandler.
Yeah, you always tell me it was Chandler.
Sarcasm. His sarcasm is such a well done and executed, in my opinion.
Yeah, they were all really good. Like, they really played those roles the best they could. You couldn't really replace them.
I think that was the pinnacle of a lot of those actors' careers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, most of them, except maybe Jennifer Aniston. Yeah.
Yeah. That was her main role, right? Was she in House? Fuller House?
Full House?
Full House? Was she in that? Jennifer Aniston?
Jennifer Aniston? No.
No?
No.
I have no idea.
No. She wasn't in, like, as a main character?
As a main character?
No,
okay.
No, absolutely not. For sure not.
Was that her best recognizing role? Was in Friends?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I would never really... There was always this hype over Jennifer Aniston. I'm like, who is that?
I've heard she's one of the most attractive older women out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really understood the hype about her.
Yeah.
She's 50 years old.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a lie. She's probably older.
You think so?
I think so.
Whoa.
I never trust this in terms of age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you found, like... Oh, well, because it is Wikipedia.
It is
right?
Wikipedia, yeah.
Wow.
Who knows? But yeah, it's... what was I going to say?
Yeah.
It's a hard life for a lot of older women in Hollywood.
Yeah, for sure. They've passed the wall, you know.
You're not worth it anymore. Yeah, it's really it's tough because your whole career is based on how young you look.
Yeah.
And your appearance.
Yeah.
So to build your, I guess, your revenue and your lifestyle on that kind of foundation.
Yeah.
It's not going to go well in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
But of course, there's those actresses and those women who do well when they age.
Yeah.
So like Oprah, right? So she made it huge as she aged, and she got very popular. Jennifer Lopez, she's very popular nowadays. So it is possible, but it's so tricky.
Yeah.
And it's so cutthroat up there too. They're so competitive.
These people in Hollywood, I've heard the guy who wrote the 48 Laws of Power. What's his name again? Robert Greene.
Robert Greene.
He used to work as, I think, a writer in Hollywood or something like that, and they would just he would see them playing games all the time. The directors, the producers, they would all just like. Apparently, they were just some of the worst people.
I think they have to be. They have to be very manipulative, and they have to be, I guess, sneaky in a way.
Yeah.
But
so sad.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
It's a very competitive field.
Environment. Oh, you know which movie I'm really excited for? Which I don't really normally get excited for a lot of movies nowadays, but there's a movie that's coming out called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why that movie?
The actors, and I don't know, for some reason I feel like it's going to be, the combination of actors, for one, is the number one reason why. But beyond that, I think it's just the I don't know, just the style of the film. Oh, wait, it came out?
Is that what it said?
Yeah, look at the rating is like a 9.7. Quentin Tarantino.
Release date is July 26th.
Oh, never mind. There's ratings for it.
So I never understood that. How do they rate the movie before it came out? Even on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 92%.
Maybe it's just the critics or whatever, but they rated it very well. 9.7 on IMDb. That's going to go down when more people, come in.
Of course, yeah.
There's no way 9.7. I think the highest rated is, I don't remember, 9.4. No, I don't even think that. I think the highest rated was 9.0, and that was like The Dark Knight. Yeah.
Okay, I never followed that rating, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really, because I think a lot of the critics are biased on that kind of.
Oh, well, I agree with you. That's why I never follow Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic.
Okay.
But when it comes to IMDb, it's all their users. So anybody can rate the movie, and they grab an average of the collection of those ratings.
Okay.
So that's why I trust IMDb's rating a little bit more than, because it's from the masses.
Quentin Tarantino directed it.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Cool. Yeah. Maybe I'll see it.
Yeah.
It's like a Western.
Yeah. It's got this, like, I guess, Western theme to it. So the budget is very low.
Yeah, $100 million. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah. For a movie
in terms of Hollywood. Day. Yeah. It's got to be at least $250 to make it big. But yeah, actors nowadays they're like gods.
Yes, they're treated
they're
like
such idols.
gods.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What would Leonardo DiCaprio or any of these actors have been without Hollywood or the television industry or technology being that
I have no idea.
Imagine their lives without it. They would have just been, something else.
Well, I think there's a lot of good actors out there. It's just a lot of them don't make it because there's these very, I guess, cunning and very sneaky type of individuals.
Yeah.
That really know to get their way around businesses, how to make deals.
Yeah.
And they know people, and then they know people who know people.
Right.
So I think it's those assertive type of people who really make it big. But they will probably be doing something else, like some other hierarchy that requires a lot of, I don't know, I guess cunning personality wise. They're very charismatic overall.
Oh yeah.
So they would do very well in other kind of industries that require that.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very strange where they would be. But, Hollywood, it's not the best hierarchy
I know.
to follow.
Yeah.
Because you got to be pretty, like, in terms of, like, I'm going to compare it to, like, the political hierarchy. Yeah. The people on the top, they're very sneaky. They're very, lack of words here. But they know what they're doing, overall. Same people also in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Those hierarchies are full of sneaky things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm never going to know because I'm not going to...
Try out for acting?
No.
Come on, man. Why not?
Have you tried out for acting?
But it wasn't like a realistic thing, I would have loved to, but I never really took the time to like go into it. But this one random woman approached us at Costco one time and was like, hey, your kids look like, they could be good in like a television or movie or whatever, or like an advertisement or whatever. So come and audition, and we came and auditioned.
Because it's so competitive.
Super.
Because it's based on talent, right? And who doesn't have talent? Like everyone's got something to show, and what makes you so special?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what are you willing to do, right? How far are you willing to go?
Yeah.
And it can get very unhealthy at times too.
Oh yeah.
Very, very unhealthy. Mad Men really touches on that point.
Oh really?
Yeah, in terms of
competition,
making it big and being in like the audition world and how to be the best.
Right.
And it took a real big toll on women back in the day.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women had to fight for like those commercial spots and a lot of those TV roles. Mm-hmm. And Hollywood back then was much more cutthroat than it is today.
Yeah.
So it was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
But yeah, isn't that why most people come to LA? It's because they want to make it big in terms of like that kind of lifestyle, whether it be a YouTuber, whether it be like in acting, and that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Make it big in La La Land.
Yeah. That was even La La Land was like that.
Even that movie was like that.
Yeah. I liked that movie, by the way. It was
a really good movie. It definitely deserved the award more over than that other movie. I forget what it was called. It was like that old black movie, Moonlight. Is that what it was called? Anyway.
Yeah.
History's history. So, yeah, what do you think about that? Hollywood being so attractive.
To like people or to like people auditioning or
people in general, because I hear a lot of stories how a lot of young people
dream of
being like the big actresses, and then they drop everything they have and they take a bus to LA and they make it big.
Right.
Get a small apartment, things like that. Live in the city.
I think it's a hell of a lot more difficult than people think. And most people actually don't end up making it. But that's not to discourage people from trying if that's what they're, if they're obsessed with and that's their passion and that's what they want to do. Mm-hmm. but I would say approach it pragmatically, right? Like approach it in a realistic way and understand how you're actually going to... If there's a game that's going to be played and you know that you're not going to make it without the game and you really want to make it, play the game and understand the game very well, you know? Otherwise, it's like you're not going to... I don't know. It's just not worth... You know, I would say analyze the game and understand how it works out there first.
I think it's very dangerous and it shouldn't be tried because...
Really?
There's so many scams out there and there's so much untrustworthy people in this kind of city overall. Yeah. Because this is Hollywood, right? This is literally the land of make-believe. Yeah. So you're going to meet a lot of weird people. You're going to meet a lot of untrustworthy people. You're going to meet a lot of agents, a lot of producers, a lot of directors, a lot of just people in general that you just don't want to be a part of. You don't want to be their friend. You don't want to be around them. Because everyone's in it to win it. No matter what it costs. And it can get very violent. It can get very cutthroat. Yes, I agree. It's not a good thing. It really isn't. The risk is too high, in my opinion. But I think what attracts... Well, LA really attracts that kind of people. The people who are very cunning, the people who are very sneaky, and the people who are very... what's the word? They're like a untrustworthy kind of two-faced person or something like that. Who knows? It's very...
Yeah, you would definitely run into a lot of those.
Definitely. That's what Hollywood is basically nowadays. Yeah. Because how else could you make it in that kind of field? Yeah. It's very...
You just have insane talent.
It's so competitive. It's crazy. But, I mean, only the best, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's scary to think about, yeah.
So what else?
Because isn't that like a girl's dream, to be honest?
A lot of people,
It's the ultimate validation dream, isn't it? Because it's like people love you for your looks. Yeah. And they want to adore your, I guess, image. And Instagram nowadays, it really makes that kind of lifestyle accessible to a lot more people overall. It is now okay to be a narcissist online. Instagram has done that.
Yeah.
It's completely a norm. It's completely okay to do that now.
Oh yeah.
There's even a few Instagram influencers who go to Chernobyl. You know that place?
Yeah.
There's a recent show on HBO called Chernobyl.
Yes.
And my friend was telling me about it. He says it's really good.
I've heard. Everybody's saying that it's like the next big show or whatever.
That's what they're saying. But there's a bunch of, I'm going to show you actually, Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram models overall. Like you have all these influencers taking pictures at...
the actual Chernobyl?
The actual Chernobyl place, yeah. It's safe to go. It's not it's not like irradiated.
I was literally going to ask, like, isn't it not safe to go there?
Yeah, like you have these Instagram models just going at it.
Wow.
Who are really taking that fame in, right?
Yeah.
And there's like, there was... I think Tim Pool was talking about this, how they were just like they're disrespecting the tragedy that happened there, and leave it to social media influencers to ruin everything. Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, but since it's more of like a pop culture thing because of that show, they're gonna go there to like get the likes and validation and all that. Yeah,
that's the whole wave that they're riding.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chernobyl is supposed to be a really good show.
Yeah, okay.
It's supposed to, I don't know how accurate it is, to be honest.
Right.
But it's supposed to be based off the true events of what really went down in Chernobyl.
Right.
For those of you who don't know what that whole event is, back in 80s, 70s, it was in Ukraine, I believe, or near that area in Russia. The Chernobyl disaster. So it was a catastrophic nuclear accident that occurred on April 26, 1986. Number 4 reactor in the nuclear plant, in the Chernobyl power plant, pretty much malfunctioned, and it destroyed, safety in the whole city that it surrounded. So, it's a classic nuclear malfunction. not a good thing to be in.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah. And how many? So they say the numbers were that I think what was it? The Soviet Union said at the time that how many people died?
They're saying a total of 31 to 54 people died from the blast. But I'm pretty sure later on there's a lot more deaths.
Yeah, and you
due to the radiation.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa.
More than 100,000 people killed.
Oh no! So that's Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
134.
The Chernobyl explosion caused 2 immediate deaths and 29 deaths from acute radiation sickness.
400 may die in the future of radiation-related causes.
Wow.
Okay. That's not good. Yeah.
That's really bad.
There is even some conspiracies that Ukraine or even Russia, they try to cover it up.
Okay.
They try to like fake the data, how many people died.
Okay.
And what really went down in Chernobyl.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, now it's becoming more popularized in the culture because they made a show about it apparently.
Right. This show, isn't it a short series?
It's a short. It's a miniseries.
Miniseries, right? Yeah. How many episodes are there? And do they finish them all, or is it still coming out?
I think they're all done. I think,
oh wow!
I think it's a completed miniseries.
Wow.
Number 5 episodes.
Oh, and that's it.
Is it still going on? I wonder if it is. I don't know.
If it's 5 episodes, I'd be down to watch it.
It's a mini-series. Let's go to Wikipedia. Detail, premiere, cast, recurring, number of episodes. So episodes were broadcast concurrently on HBO and Sky Atlantic on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday at 2 a.m. BST. I don't think it's ongoing. I think it's just 5 episodes.
Okay.
Each like an hour long.
So the last episode is going to air soon.
Number 5?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It already passed. June 3rd.
June 3rd, okay. Oh, okay.
To be announced. Oh, they don't have the data yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But it came out already.
How many viewers they don't have data for? Okay. Oh, so I'm assuming that's it then.
I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
I might actually watch it then.
Yeah, they're saying it's a very sad miniseries.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
That sucks.
Each episode is about, what, 60 to 72 minutes?
It's got to be like an hour.
Like okay.
Hour or more.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Number of episodes, 5.
What is it? Running time, 60 to 72 minutes.
Right.
Okay. Something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's never been like an accident like that on American soil. Not that I know of. It's a very, I guess, anti-left thing to do to support power plants nowadays.
Is it?
I think it is, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like pro-left, isn't it?
No, not that I remember.
Oh.
Because I think it can cause a lot of pollution. And plus power plants, they produce a lot of nuclear waste that we have yet to get rid of. Like,
so they're more wind power and solar and that sort of thing.
Clean energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nuclear power is not considered clean I suppose.
Really?
Well, I guess it could be, but the reason why they wouldn't support it is because of the waste it produces. Every power plant produces a lot of waste that we can't get rid of. Mainly because it's radiated waste. You can't just dump that anywhere. So they're going to contain it and it's going to stack up space.
Right.
So that's the main reason.
Oh, it is? Yeah, you see all these, like, I remember, have you ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
The show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's not a nuclear power plant. That's some other...
Oh, you mean Legend of Korra?
No. Oh, was it? I don't know.
I think I'm...
No, it was definitely Avatar: The Last Airbender. There was an episode where the river was polluted or something, and there was a company that was doing it. I don't know. I don't think that was a power plant, though. I think there was some other
That's when Katara was all ghosty or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was a different...
there's no way they had nuclear energy
in
during
that kind of time frame, yeah.
Yeah. It was just a polluting company.
It's a... yeah, power plants... I don't think, unless I'm mistaken, do the left, or most people on the progressive left, do they... and power plants? Maybe they do.
Progressive left and power plants.
If they care so much about the climate, why are they trying to kill? Yeah.
Yeah. So they are trying to kill nuclear.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, now a debate has been broken among, because I've heard nuclear is like one of the biggest ways of the future.
Like it is.
It's like one of the greatest sources of power for the future.
It is. It does a lot of power production.
Yeah.
But the main thing about it is that it's expensive, and it's considered unsafe.
Yeah.
But it's got to be one of the safest things possible.
Right.
Because you're going to do everything you can to fund the safety measures in that kind of power plant.
Yes.
Because it's no joke.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, the main thing is the nuclear waste. That's a huge factor on why I think the left or the Democrats don't like it. I don't think it was even part of the Green Deal. I don't think power plants were included in the Green Deal, the Green New Deal. Plus power plants, I think they're very, are they a capitalist type of market?
What, the power plants?
Power plants?
I have no idea.
Because it costs a lot to fund them.
I don't even know if companies do power plants. Isn't it just like
I think Edison owns power plants.
Like nuclear power plants.
Nuclear power plants.
Wow.
Who owns nuclear power plants? I don't think it's the government.
Okay.
It's energy companies because they have the money to fund that. Who owns, unless the government regulates them in a way?
Oh, I'm sure at least for safety measures, I'm sure they do, yeah. Businesses are going to try to reduce costs, even to the point where they're like, do we really need this safety measure? It's going to cost a little bit more. We just want to maximize our profits. We take the risk.
Safety factor can be lowered.
I know.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Who owns nuclear power plants? Who's funding these guys? It's got to be the gas companies, maybe.
Maybe.
Like Exxon or Mobil.
Yeah, it looks like so. Beaver Valley 2, Arkansas Nuclear 1. Wow. Yeah, look, it's Tennessee Valley Authority, Duke Energy Corps. Are those companies?
I've never heard of these companies.
Illuminate.
Maybe they're like subsection companies that are owned by bigger. Oh, Pacific Gas and Electric.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a main company.
Okay.
PG&E. Yeah. I think they provide my electricity in Upper Valley.
Okay.
PGE. Yeah, they do. It's the same guys. They're going bankrupt. You know that?
PG&E?
Yeah, they're the main reason why the fires happened in Northern California.
Oh,
yeah.
They have to pay reparations for that?
I think they do. Yeah, they cost so much that their whole income it got depleted.
They caused the fires up north.
There's speculation that their equipment and their stuff up there, because they provide most of the electricity up there, and the gas, it might have caused some of the fires. That's speculation, but overall, they're going bankrupt anyway because most of the fire destroyed most of their
equipment,
their customers.
Yeah.
So all the households and everything, they really destroyed most of their revenue. So they really took a double hit, to be honest.
Oh, they're a natural gas company.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pacific Gas and Electric. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. They provide a lot of energy up there in Northern California, up there. So apparently they own nuclear power plants.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If they're going bankrupt, isn't that okay? The whole process of bankruptcy is more complicated.
It is very complicated, especially on that kind of scale. It's got to be really complicated because they provide a lot of power and electricity to a lot of people up there.
Yeah.
I think they provide some for San Francisco as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never heard of these companies. Oh, XL. There's XL.
Yeah.
Exelon, I've heard of them.
Exelon Core.
Yeah. I mean, these companies make millions.
Oh, yeah?
Per month. They're huge. So yeah, it would make sense that these guys, they own all the power plants. Because how much will it give me the amount of money? Cost of a nuclear power plant. It costs between $2 billion and $4 billion apparently.
Oh wow!
According to 2009 estimates. Yeah. The cost of nuclear power. It does cost a lot of money. Huge amount of money. But why is that? Didn't we cover? Oh, we covered nuclear weapons.
Yeah. Oh, we covered nuclear power towards the end of it.
We did. We touched on it.
We just touched on it though.
Yeah. Between $2 billion and $4 billion per unit to $9 billion per unit Oh, that's all they're giving me. Yeah.
Yeah, the cost versus benefit.
If you want to reduce the climate impact of electrical power generation in the United States, there are less costly and risky ways to do it than expanding nuclear power. Okay. Powered by new plants. Be more expensive per kilowatt than several alternatives, including energy-efficient measures, renewable energy sources such as biomass and wind, and new natural gas plants. So they're very against nuclear power in general. That's the idea. But yeah, you learned something today. The left, they hate nuclear power. They absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's safe, I would argue.
Yeah.
Because I've gone to conferences when they talked about nuclear power. They always emphasize the point that it is safe. It's extremely safe.
Okay. Yeah, because I think there is somewhat of a stereotype of like nuclear power plants. Something's always got to go wrong.
Well,
there's radiation.
Yeah, because the media they've really, I guess, conveyed that image. Because when it comes to Japan, when they had all those earthquakes, it was their fault for putting the power plants near the shore, in that kind of unstable area. But then again, it was kind of unexpected too. But it was really the tsunamis that destroyed most of the power plants.
Right.
But power plants would be constructed near large bodies of water because they need a lot of cooling.
Okay.
In terms of
I can imagine.
their own production of energy.
Nuclear, dude. That's like
Yeah, they need the sea to cool out of their reactors in general.
Isn't it nuclear fission that creates the nuclear energy? Or that creates the energy?
Nuclear fission, I think.
They haven't mastered fusion for sure yet, because it's apparently too hot and requires too much power, but it releases like more. Apparently.
I forget the energy.
That's literally the power of the sun, apparently.
Yeah.
But nuclear fission, where they break apart, it's like the atomic bomb, right?
Yeah.
And they harness that energy or something.
Yeah.
Through like cooling mechanisms and like, okay. So actually, what I've heard is that it's kind of like a turbine, right? They have like something that turns, and if you turn it, it creates power and generates power. But you need some sort of force to push that to generate the power. So they use nuclear power, so to speak, to push that turbine, apparently. And that turbine creates the energy. That's what I've heard.
Yes. From what I've learned.
Yeah.
In terms of turbines. Within a turbine, there's a lot of water and that kind of system that really turns the turbines. Do turbines add power or do they take away power? That's the idea there. Oh, I forget.
I have no idea.
No, because I had a final exam on that.
Oh, okay.
Turbine mechanics. Because turbine
I didn't know they could
extract energy. Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So it extracts energy. Why does it do that? Because you want to increase the flow rate of water that goes into the reactor. So you put a turbine to extract the energy from a fluid flow and convert it to useful work. Yes. So the more work you have, the more energy you produce, right?
Okay.
And the work produced by a turbine can be used for generating electrical power when combined with the generator. A turbine is a turbo pirate. Early turbines examples is windmills and water wheels, of course. So it takes away power, but it adds more work. Okay. If that makes sense.
Right.
But yeah, I learned that a while ago.
By the way, who writes all these Wikipedia entries?
These entries? I think it's engineers, maybe. People, or maybe people who are on the job.
Well, generally speaking, these Wikipedia pages are filled by...
Well, right, yeah.
Certain people who
spread a lot of misinformation, right? I think that's mostly true for a lot of easier topics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like celebrity pages or government pages here and there. But when it comes to this kind of information, like mechanics, engineering, energy, physics even, mathematics, My teachers would even go to Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah.
Every now and then when it came into office hours. Like for my numerical analysis class, he would pull up Wikipedia on like Lagrangian method or bisection method in terms of math.
Yeah.
So they would say it's mostly safe.
Right, I would agree. Mostly it looks safe, right? And even if it's not safe there, because I know so many people are like, oh, don't go to Wikipedia. My teachers in high school, like if you cite Wikipedia as a source, we're taking points off.
You don't get
And it's like, okay, dude, but there's sources at the bottom of the page which you can then access, and then from those pages, then you can find the same pretty much information, right?
Yeah.
Like the additional notes or whatever.
Notes here.
Yeah.
Here and here. Yeah.
So that's where you can find it.
Yeah, because Wikipedia overall, it was supposed to be like it was supposed to be a library of information that gives you like the overall view of a bunch of research that it gets it from.
Yes.
Right. So all these footnotes are based on research, like hardcore evidence that you can refer to. Yeah. It's just that Wikipedia summarizes most of those points in this one-page article.
Yeah.
That's what it was meant for.
Yeah.
But of course, anyone can edit it, and people make the argument that it's not good for research papers.
Yeah.
Because technically, this takes stuff from research papers and it summarizes it, so it's not really that good of a research reference. You should actually go to these research for the actual content.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. That's actually something I touch upon in my video too. It's that
evidence.
Even like universities will have press releases where they're like, oh, something new was discovered, this, that, whatever. But that, whatever they write in the article is oftentimes there's been found a misrepresentation of the actual information. Mm-hmm. So the best thing you can do is actually go to the source and read through the source carefully, because most people don't really know how to read through these like systematic reviews or meta-analyses. They're very difficult to actually digest the information from, you know,
right.
Because they're so advanced in their methods on how they actually, you know, come to those conclusions. And when you shouldn't cite press release news. They're not peer reviewed.
Right.
And if they're not peer reviewed, you don't want to use those sources. You want to go to maybe the article will give you at the bottom the actual source. Go to the actual source and find it. Mm. Yeah.
People, I guess the whole political field nowadays, evidence is being thrown left and right, and there's all these different studies, and people are just bombarded with a bunch of information that they're just confused. I know I am.
Right.
Most of the time. Like whenever a CNN article comes out or a newsreel from CNN, they love throwing these like studies left and right. It's like, oh, according to this, Trump is a racist. Or according to this, you know, nuclear power plants are unsafe. It's like, okay. I don't know about that, man.
Yeah. Let's look into a little bit of a deeper research here.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. I think nuclear power is the way of the future, to be honest. It's got to be, because it's so much production and energy. We can end up saving a lot of trees in that way. We can end up saving a lot of resources.
Yes.
You know, if we go to the nuclear power plants. Yeah. But there's still work to be done. There's still technology to be made. Mm-hmm. And who knows in the future? What time are we at right now? We are at 55 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
A solid 2.5 hours, I think we went.
Looks like it. Okay. Well, I guess we can end it here if you want.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So, a good episode.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good to see you all, and we're going to end it now.
Awesome. See ya.
Have a good one.